Hi everyone, Chris Natzke here with Superfoot System. I'm the Director of Business Development and Black Belt Testing, and welcome to this video on information on how you can become a Superfoot Black Belt yourself. First of all, I want to say thank you for inquiring. We'd love to have you become part of the Superfoot family and join a cadre of martial artists all over the world that have received their black belts directly from Bill Superfoot Wallace. So the purpose of this video is to go through the requirements and all of the specifics of our black belt testing for the upcoming year. So the testing requirements for someone who's going to be testing in the Superfoot system are as follows. Number one, we ask that you become part of the Superfoot System organization and be a member of good standing. Number two, we ask that you are at least a black belt level in a stand-up style of martial arts. Taekwondo, karate, kung fu, kickboxing, that you have black belt ranking already before you do the testing process with us. We also ask that you attend a minimum of 2 seminars or classes with Bill Wallace directly within a 2-year period prior to your testing. This could not only be live seminars, but could also be his weekly Superfoot Dojo, which occurs every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We ask that you invest in Superfoot equipment. This includes uniform and patch, Superfoot gloves, as well as hand mitts. You also would need to complete the Superfoot online application to make sure that we have all of your history in martial arts, your personal history, as well as your name and belt size so that we can have your certificate and your belt ready at testing. Also, we have a 3-month prep period that you're required to go through. And this is what we do is we take you through virtually testing each one of the segments of the Superfoot system curriculum to make sure that you're ready to go before you ever get in front of Bill Wallace. And then finally, you need to have authorization from me, the Black Belt Testing Coordinator, which I'll tell you about how you can access that later on. Now, the testing and training curriculum is something that you'll receive not only in hard copy, but also as part of our package, you'll receive it in video format. So you'll have all the qualifications, all the things necessary for you to become a Superfoot Black Belt. Now, the curriculum is basically broken down into 3 aspects: beginner, intermediate, and advanced, with 3 rotations in each one of those phases. So basically 9 levels that you would go through, much like a belt rank system. Phase 1, 2, and 3, beginner, intermediate, advanced. Now, in addition to that, within each one of those phases, we have 4 criteria. Number 1 is foundational techniques. Number 2 is combinations. Number 3 is fighting strategies. And number 4 are drills and skills that can help you get up to mark. Now, when you're taking a look at the curriculum, this is something that most of us, we will basically overlay this onto our existing curriculum. So yes, there's going to be some unique things that you're learning, but it should also be something that you can integrate to your current stand-up style. And then once you have that integrated, then you'll go through our virtual testing procedure, which I'm going to explain to you right now. So in 2025, we have 4 official testing dates for the Superfoot system. We're going to kick things off on February 22nd in Little Rock, Arkansas. Next will be our annual conference in Jacksonville, Florida on June 6th. After that, we'll be going to Buda, Texas, right outside of Austin on August 1st, and then we're going to wrap things up for the year on November 7th in Indianapolis, Indiana. Now, as I mentioned earlier, before you're ever in front of Bill Wallace to do your test, you're actually going to go through 4 virtual tests with our leadership team to make sure that you're absolutely ready to do your in-person testing. In this example, what I'm going to do is just take you through all the dates of the virtual tests. So for every one of the live testings, you'll have 3 virtual phase testings and then 1 final pre-test, basically 2 to 3 weeks before you get in front of Bill Wallace. So to use as an example, in February 22nd, we'll be kicking things off on December 14th of 24 with our phase 1 as well as our phase 2 testings. And all times that you see on the chart are Eastern. So we'll start with 2 p.m. Eastern for the phase 1 and 3 p.m. for the phase 2. Then on January 11th, we'll have you another opportunity for you to do phase 2 and then your phase 3 testing. And then finally, on February 8th, we'll be doing an opportunity for phase 3 and then your final pre-testing. Now, what I normally recommend to people is they do phase 1 and 2 on the first go-around, do phase 3 on the second go-around, and then their pre-test, because the test will get, obviously considerably more difficult as you move forward. Now, think about it this way. Think about your own martial arts students if you're a teacher. You want to make sure that they're prepared to succeed. So these testings are nothing more than our way of trying to see where you're at on the phase 1 curriculum and pass you on to the phase 2 and then pass you on to phase 3. Even though there's 3 rotations in every phase, there's only 1 testing per phase. All right? So there's going to be 4 testings total before you move on to Grandmaster Wallace. Now, very quickly, what we'll be doing for our June testing in Jacksonville is we'll kick that off on March 8th, and then sequence in April and May, and then finish up on May 10th with our pre-testing. For our Buda, Texas 8-1 testing, we'll start that on May 17th, and then we will finish with a July 12th pre-testing. And then finally, for our Indianapolis testing, we'll kick that off August 9th and go through your sequencing with our final pre-testing on October 11th. Now, each one of these testings as an individual member are mandatory for you to attend. So make sure when you enroll in our testing program that you anchor those dates in your calendar so you're able to attend and so that you're ready to go. So hopefully that's given you a great overview of the requirements to become a Superfoot System Black Belt. Now, when you're able to effectively pass our test, you'll not only receive a certificate signed by Bill Wallace himself, but also an embroidered black belt with your name on, showing that you are indeed part of the Superfoot family. So if you're interested in testing for black belt ranking with us, please reach out to me directly at chris@superfootsystem.com. I'll be happy to answer any of the questions as well as go over the time commitment and pricing for the program. So thanks so much for joining us, and I look forward to talking to you soon.